The 2025 transfer portal saw a lot of high-key additions for teams, but there was none more under the radar than Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss. Chambliss was ranked as the 843rd overall player and 60th quarterback in the nation after leading the Ferris State Bulldogs to a D2 championship. You know how the rest of the story goes. After an injury sustained by Ole Miss starting quarterback Austin Simmons, Chambliss stepped in and immediately led the Rebels to an 11-1 record, a college football playoff appearance, a win against Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, and a narrow loss to Miami in the college football playoff semifinal, despite not having Lane Kiffin for the last two games. Chambliss was ranked 8th in Heisman voting, and his story is so revered that teams are now starting to look at non-FBS programs for quarterback talent. There are two names in this transfer portal class that stand out to me, and one of these two can end up being the next Trinidad Chambliss in 2026. Hello, I'm Owen Hillman, and you're watching Tackles and Checks.
Trinidad Chambliss was a surprise story, but that doesn't mean he was a slouch either. With Ferris State, he had gotten 3,279 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Of course, most of you guys know about the D2 National Championship he led Ferris State to, but he was also finalist for the Harlan Hill Trophy, which is the Heisman of Division II, with 2,925 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions in 24-25. Obviously, Ole Miss didn't see him as a starter at the time, but there were teams that did once he transferred. In fact, Temple paid $300,000 to bring Chambliss in as their starter. Obviously, it didn't work out for them, but it would have been interesting to see him in a Temple Owl uniform. It's easy to imagine him thriving in any program now. But that's what we're looking at with the next Trinidad Chambliss. You have to look at the talent versus the situation. I've come up with two quarterbacks who could break out from nowhere, like Chambliss did.
I went to Harvard. Fucking Harvard.
Out to play in this. They get two teams in the first time. Craig throws it up. Play action, clean pocket, firing downfield. The same can do it.
First, we have Jaden Craig. Craig is a senior from the Harvard Crimson who transferred to TCU during the portal season. He stands at 6'3", 230 pounds, so unlike Chambliss, he has a much more prototypical pocket passer build. He has 2 years of starting experience at Harvard, throwing for 6,074 yards, 52 touchdowns, and just 12 interceptions. His time at Harvard earned some national attention, with Mel Kiper even rating him one of the 10 best quarterbacks in the nation. And it's easy to see why. Craig has a very good arm and puts a lot of zip on the ball. He's got great footwork, good awareness of pressure, and good escapability against pressure. He's also good at attacking the middle of the field, something that is key for both college quarterbacks and NFL quarterbacks. He's also sneakily mobile and can make throws on the run. His only flaws are that he won't go straight to the hot route during the blitz, which causes some funky plays. That's the price of always going for the big play. He also escapes clean pockets at times. Despite this, he has all the makings of a great, powerful quarterback who can garner NFL buzz. He'll struggle against teams with good defensive lines like Texas Tech or Utah, but TCU has one of the easier schedules in the Big 12. Barring a loss to Dublin against North Carolina, the Horned Frogs should be a sneaky Big 12 contender. So Jaden Craig has the potential to be a very good quarterback for TCU. And if he generates Heisman buzz, his rise from Harvard to stardom will be similar to Trinidad Chambliss's to some people. However, they wouldn't be the same to me. For one thing, Craig played in D1 football, albeit at the FCS level, whereas Chambliss played at D2 football at Ferris State. Craig also profiles as more of a pocket passer, standing at 6'3", 230 pounds, whereas Chambliss is 6'1", 200 pounds, and is more of a mobile quarterback. But there's one quarterback who has a similar athletic build to Trinidad Chambliss, despite having a very different weight, and he also has a similar story to Chambliss. My shirt might be spoiling it, but Florida State fans know who I'm talking about. That man is Malachi Marshall.
Sometimes you gotta close the door to open a window.
Of Hutch. Marshall keeping it. He's got room. He shook off one defender.
Seen any points come this area of the field tonight. Marshall on the roll. Lofting it. He's got Courtney for a touchdown.
Marshall is a 6'2", 170-pound quarterback who was originally at Iowa Western Community College. He went to Stony Brook as a freshman, but he transferred to a community college to show some tape to potential Power 4 schools. It worked out really well for him. He threw for 2,750 yards, 33 touchdowns, and just 8 interceptions, earning him a commitment with the Florida State Seminoles. Marshall's quick release stands out immediately. He has a really quick trigger with the ball, and he has great touch with it, especially down the sidelines. He does really well against man coverage and shows flashes against zone. He has a good arm, and he uses different arm angles to throw. He's good at throwing off platform too, similar to Trinidad Chambliss.
The biggest concerns with him is play strength. Usually it's not as important for quarterbacks, but when you weigh about 170 pounds, which is lower than some wide receivers, there's going to be concern about you getting hit in the backfield. He also tends to throw at a 3/4 arms angle, which leads to a lot of batted down passes in the line of scrimmage. Quarterbacks like Carson Beck have this problem as well, and I could see Marshall having this problem if he plays this year. Sometimes he doesn't feel the pressure either, which weighs into his 170-pound frame. Regardless, Marshall is an intriguing option based on what he showed as a pure passer at Iowa Western. With Florida State more than likely rolling with Auburn transfer quarterback Ashton Daniels as their starter and sophomore Kevin Sperry as the backup, Marshall could redshirt to gain another year of eligibility and another year in Gus Malzahn's offense. He can improve his play strength as well. Regardless of whether or not Marshall starts in 2026 or 27, him alongside Craig and Chambliss are showing that college football is giving a chance to these non-FBS quarterbacks to start. And if Craig or Marshall break out like Chambliss did, it's going to be another intriguing story for the future of college football.